Welcome everyone, I'm Storm Chaos and I'm making a video on my scale. Everybody likes to call these things grids. It's a misuse of the terminology. Really what we're working with is a scale. So I'm going to teach you how to use my scale and measure with it. So you can calculate the rings movement that you need to make. Alright, and let's talk about this for a second. So, we like to refer to this as a grid. Everybody calls them grids. And I believe the ultimate golf community as a whole has adopted the term grid for scales because of the Apple products. iOS has a system called a grid overlay for their voice control. So you put a grid overlay on your Apple phone so you can get lines on it, a grid, so you can measure your rings and all that. So you can figure out, how to move where to move your rings, how far to adjust them and all that. It's the Apple term grid overlay. So we've adopted the term grids. And really what we're using is a scale. And I think I'm going to start using the proper terminology and referring to this as a scale because that's exactly what it is. It's a scale. And a scale is an unspecified unit of measure, meaning it's not an inch or a centimeter or a foot, yard, whatever. Those are units of measure. These are unspecified because it's just using a scale. Alright, if we had a ruler, and we had a ruler on here and it was accurate, and the caddy told you to move it 3 inches, we'd be using that as a term. But it gives us a percent value of the ring, and the ring's adjustable. You can adjust it in size. Alright, just like that. So right now this ring has a value unit size of 8. Alright, we zoom it down and it has a unit size of 6. Alright, we need 38% of that. We're going to have to move 1.38. So we need to move the 38% of the one ring. So that's what we figure out. Alright, so how do we do that? Let's discuss this. Basically, we're going to be converting our scale into fractions. So right now it's 1/6. Alright, we're using a 6 base. Alright, there's 6 units or 60 units because inside each one of the smaller units is a graduated line, and excuse me, they're equally spaced. So it could have this scale could have a value of 60 or it could have a value of 6. If we made it this big, if I got it to the 2 units, 2 big units, or 10 units, right like that, let me get it down a little. Now it'd be very easy to figure out what 38% is because this has a value of 10 or 100. So 38 would be simple to get. You just move it over. So we're 38 away. Right about there. And from the center line to the apex is 38%. Easily done. No math needed. Well, no real math needed. Okay? But that's not what we're here to talk about. We'll talk about how to do it when it's not easy. Alright? So this is the scale that I've developed. I like to use it because it's accurate down to 0.01%. All right, it can be accurate down to 0.01%. If I'm using it at the 5 mark or 50, it's accurate down to 2%. Okay, so at the 10 mark where we originally did it, it's accurate to 1%. All right, that has an accuracy of 1%. So it's very easy. It's 1 for 1. Now it's going to be 2 for 1. All right, so let's just get it here. We're at 6. All right, we're 60. How do we figure out what 38% of that is? Well, it's simply basic math, fractions. If you remember back to grade school when you should have learned this, fractions, decimals, conversions, that's all we're doing. So we know that 6 or 60 is the 100% value. We want to know what 38% value is, or the 62%. All right, why would you want to know what the 62% is and not the 38% value is? Because the 62% is what you need to move over. Okay, so how would we figure that out? What is the 62% value? All right, the 62% value would be, let me get out my calculator here on my phone. So what we would do to convert the decimal into fractions is we would take, we're using a 60 scale, so 60 is equal to 100, right? We know we want 62, so it'd be 62 over 100. What is 60? X over 60 is the 38%, is the 62%. All right, which is the remainder of 38%. So we would do 62 times 60 is 3720. Divide that by 100, and then you'd get 37.2. So 37.2 would be the 62%. The remainder, that's 35, 36, 37. So that means from here to the outer edge is the 60%. From the apex to the line is the 38%. Okay? So that's how you'd figure that out. Let's just say that we had, I don't know, a 6.2 win. No, I don't like that. Let's say it was a 3.1 win. A 1.53, that's a little easy. There we go. 1.63. And let's change the scale size because we just did 62%. Alright, so here, we're on 7. Alright, 7 units. The apex goes from here to here is 7 units, or 70 units. We need to know what 27% is, because 63, we want to hang the 27% over. The remainder would be 63%. Alright, so it's the same thing. It would be 27 over 100 is equal to, where are we at, 70, x over 70. Alright, so you would do 70 times 27 divided by 100. You get 18.9. Alright? So we know that if we put this to 18.9, 19 lines, the remainder is 63%. And there you have it. That's how you use the scale. You know, you have to understand math. You need to know what you're doing. But that's how it's calculated. Alright? And all a scale is I mean, I made a special, where is it? I made a special scale, a blow up of it, so we could easily see. Alright? That's the scale, right there. And if you still can't see that, alright, this is what the scale is. That's all it is. Each one of these lines represents 10. I break it down, alright? This has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This scale right here is 10 units in total. Each one of these lines, each one of those lines is 1%. So if our ring took up, can't do it there. So if our ring took up this right here, this is a blown up version of it, each one of those lines is 1%. Alright? This is how you use the scale. It's very easy. You just need to know fractions and decimal conversions. And that's how you calculate it. You know, you can calculate a lot with this. Let's do the shot view. You need to know what your shot view is of your club. Alright? Let's put the right club on. Duh. Alright? So we want to calculate what 52% is of our shot view. Well, we know this is 52%. We want to know what the other 48% is. Alright? So we zoom to where we get a good, nice even number. I mean, you could do it with any of these. We could do it at 56 if you wanted, or 46, or whatever. But we use the whole number. Make it easy on yourself. Alright? So this shot view is 7 or 70. Okay? So from the apex to the center line is 52% of the total rollout. Let's figure out what the other remainder is, and we'll put the flag there. So how do we do that? We know that 70 is equal to 52%. So it's 52 over 100. 70 over X. Alright? So it would be 700 or 7,000, depending on how you want to do it. 700 divided by 52 is 13.4. Okay? So we'll find our flag. We were at 7. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What did I say? 0.4? I did. So we know right there. Get this back to 7. So we know and really, if we're going to do that, you have to have it on the same plane. And the way we know that it's on the same plane is the cup should be halfway covered by the line. Alright, so let me do this. What did I say it was? 13.5, 13.46. So we're at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Should go there. And there you have it. That's the total rollout. All right. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The edge is 13. Really right here. All right, that would be the rollout. I mean, I changed the zoom, so let me do it proper, because it's not actually set proper. You got to be at the same zoom that you started with. All right, so this would go to here. This comes to here. So now that is accurate. All right, that's the total distance the ball is going to roll out. We had to be at the same zoom that we started with. It moved. I didn't notice it right away. I apologize, but I caught myself. You know, that's how errors are done. Stuff happens, you don't realize it, and that's how things go wrong. But now we're at the original zoom that we were at. I know that because the ball guide arc stops at the center line. So the center line over, that's the balance. That's 13.46. Well, 13.5. All right, so that's how you calculate the rollout. So a lot can be done with this scale. You can measure a lot of different things. You just have to kind of know how to convert fractions. You know, it's basically that simple. All right, so anybody else has any more questions, you know, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Open to all questions. You can find me on Discord, Storm Chaos 4803. You can find me on Facebook. It's Michael Carhart. That's my name. Let's talk about Facebook. So I recently started a group on Facebook for Ultimate Golf called Ultimate Golf Club Recruitment. You know, I love the Ultimate Golf community, and I know that there's a lot of players that have a difficult time finding the right group for them. It took me a few tries before I found Jester Mafia, which is the club that I'm in, and I love Jester Mafia. You know, it's a great group of people. It's a varied group of people. You know, Stu, he's our president. Our logo motto is slightly annoying, slightly amusing. No, slightly amusing, slightly annoying. One of them. Anyway, it's so true. You know, our group is great. I love it. We have players that are really great. We have players that are hardcore. We have some players that are casual and more social. We have a diverse group of players, and we share life's little moments with each other, and it's really enjoyable. You know, we do a lot of different things. They have a Zoom chat on Sundays. We hold contests in the club. You know, for club members, we're actually they give away cash prizes for different things. Best tournament score on a particular tournament, you know, and to make it equal between the different players, because you got tournament pro players and you have veterans and pros and amateurs. It goes by the TB score, and you have to get, you can't, get all drops. You got to get birdies and eagles on par 5. You can't get beyond an eagle. If you make a drop, it's disqualified. So they do it by the tiebreaker points. It's a lot of fun. Our group's a lot of fun, but our group's not for everybody. So if you're a player and you're looking for a group, I made this Facebook group called Ultimate Golf Club Recruitment. You can go and find clubs that have posted about their clubs, and players can post player profiles, describe what kind of club you're looking for, what kind of player you are. There's a group called Band of Brothers, a club called Band of Brothers. It's a niche group club. They cater specifically to military and first responders, police, fire, rescue. So that's a club. If you're a first responder or a military veteran, you want to play with like-minded people, that's a good club for you. You've got some clubs like Slice of Life. They're real hardcore. If you're a hardcore player and you want to be with other hardcore players and only hardcore players, you might find them interesting. There's a bunch of different clubs, so the page is designed to match players and clubs, so you get the right match. Not that you're in the wrong kind of club. It was so unsatisfying to me to be in clubs where I was with players that were inactive and they casual players. I don't care if you're a casual player so long as you're active. Pull your weight. In our club, everybody's active, and it's social. Not everybody's social. You don't have to be. But this club fits me and my personality, and I like it. I'll be a Jester Mafia for life, unless it disbands, but I don't ever see that happening. Our club's got over 100 members in it. But our club's not for everyone, So if you're looking for a club, you need some help finding a club, go to Ultimate Golf Club Recruitment, post a player profile, or post a club profile if you're running a club and you need some players. Hopefully it'll be able to help. So that's it. Guys, have a great day, and see you on the fairways.